Okay, so today I will talk about a topic that's really famous nowadays, ADHD. But I am going to talk about it as a ADHD people myself. So you're gonna say, oh, everyone has got ADHD nowadays, but I was really diagnosed, so it's not something in my head, okay? Anyway, first, when I found about it, I would hate the diagnosis. I would be like, why me? And I would use it as an excuse for like, oh, I can't do anything about it because the problem is my mind and I was born like that. I was damned since I was born, so there is no helping it. But yeah, and I would always be down about it. But nowadays, it's changed my perspective, and I actually very much like having ADHD more than not having it. So why is that? First, these ADHD people are far more creative, so we can think about solutions in ways normal people can. We have got hyper focus, or for example, normal people would think, oh, that's cool, Japanese, and they are going to start learning it. Oh, it's difficult. Oh, I don't have time. Then they are going to leave it. And same with ADHD people for any subject. But if they love a specific subject, they are really interested in that subject, they are going to even, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but they are going to even forget how to forget to eat and sleep and this kind of stuff just to study Japanese or whatever the thing is. So 10 hours straight and this kind of stuff. And when you learn to direct your focus to something useful in any way, it's really interesting because you can become the best at many things. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like, okay, of course there are something that sucks. For example, if I hate a subject, like for example biology, I won't be able to focus on it. For example, at high school, I would I don't remember a single word. My all my teachers said, like the whole school. And the funny thing is, I would hate English at high school. When I left school, I started learning English for real. So like watching series and getting to know more about another cultures and the world and this kind of stuff, not just reading books and grammar. Of course, grammar is important, but you can learn grammar while you watching any series or something. You don't need to learn it from textbook and there are plain textbook and that it. Normal people, they have got like their initial focus here, and ADHD people here. Well, it isn't just because you start here on the race that you can't improve it. Like, it isn't easy, of course, but normal people can increase their focus, and it's the same thing with ADHD people. So, well, ADHD people have got a lot of, it isn't like voices, but it's like as if there's three movies passing in your head at the same time, and five musics and random noise and voice of people talking and a lot of scenes, and you're thinking about something that happened and thinking about things that are going to happen or just imagine random stuff. And anyway, it's like you're imagining all things and nothing at the same time. It really use it to bother me, so I would get crazy about voices. So like I was going to wake up and like my brain would be like that, and I wouldn't be able to stand it. But like after taking the med, the voices stopped, and I felt amazing. And oh, I can focus. I can okay. So I started getting anxious. I stopped taking the meds, and recently I tried taking again a stronger one and a new one, and I already tried four different medications, and that was the last one. Why? Because firstly, the voices stopped when taking that new med, but I didn't feel like I was drugged. I didn't feel relieved anymore because I learned how to use the voices in my favor. Because a normal person has got as if it was one voice and they can see things and process things in one way. But ADHD people have got like 20 of them and they can't control none. But if you can learn how to tame five of them and you can you can learn to not let the 15 left bother you, like they are going to still be there. But if you are not bothered by them, you're just like don't care, they're going to be there, but it doesn't bother you anymore. And you have like five voices, and you can process things in a different way. Instead of seeing one line, you're going to see five lines, or you can see under the line, you can see outside the line. Anyway, so you process things in a different way. And when you don't control it, it's bad. But when you understand more about yourself and you learn how to control it, it's actually way more efficient. And I like the way of thinking because it's not straight, it's like that. But when you learn how to think like that, it's kind of awesome. So the voices stopped, but I didn't feel relief. I didn't feel bad as well, but I didn't feel really any relief. And I had a lot of side effects. So, for example, I would get anxious and I wouldn't eat. As I said, if you try, you can improve your focus and your self control, even if you have got ADHD. So I have worked a lot on this, and I learned the most important thing is habit. So even if you take the meds, if you don't have the habit of getting up of your bed and don't use your phone, instead of laying in bed and use your phone for like a half an hour or even more every day, if you don't have this habit, doesn't matter if you're taking meds, it can make it easier to create a habit, but it won't solve your life. So taking the med, I wasn't able to stop eating sugar, for example. But when I decided I wasn't going to eat sugar anymore, I just stopped. It has been like 3, 4 weeks or something using the med. I didn't realize I didn't realize a lot of difference like in my self control and my focus. So I decided to stop taking it because it was just giving me side effects. Besides, really expensive medicine. But I know it's helpful for some people. It can be something that makes easier to start habits and start focusing on this kind of stuff. So I won't say I don't recommend medicine. I will just say it's not for everyone. Like it's my case, I feel better without taking it. And I like having ADHD. I like the way my brain works. You need to understand yourself. Nowadays, to be honest, normal people can't focus either. You see people like on Instagram, this kind of stuff, and you think, oh, they're super productive and this kind of stuff because they go in a bathtub full of ice cubes every day at 4 a.m. But like that's either a lie or just one or two per people. It isn't like everyone is like that, but you see people like that, like 30 people per day when you're scrolling, and you think everyone in the world who hasn't got ADHD is like that. And when a ADHD people appears, like it's shown in your feed, it will be just someone saying, "Oh, I was born with ADHD and I can't do anything and my life sucks." So you think, okay, I damned, and this is my fate, and I can't do anything about it. But that's a lie. Everyone can improve, even if a bit, either using medication or not. But it isn't like you have got your sentence, okay? I feel like that's a bullshit lie, okay? Anyway, so there are a lot of characteristics of ADHD people, and for example, they say ADHD people always interrupt other people when they're talking, and that's because they can't focus. But as I said, when you have interest in something, you hyper focus. So if you interrupt someone, sorry, but you're just rude. So if you interrupt people, you're just no, it's not because you have ADHD and it's not your fault. It's because you're not interested in the conversation. Because if you are, ADHD people hyper focus on what they are interested. So you just don't care about the conversation. Okay, so that's why. But you need to put an effort because you can just do everything you want. And I like having ADHD. I am learning more and more about me because ADHD people think a lot. So yeah, and you can think a lot, and that's either bad or either good. But if you direct your line of thought to good things, I am sure it's going to be only helpful to you. And I feel like ADHD people who don't just blame everything and feel down and all, the ones who use it in their favor, they realize it's like it can be really powerful, but either to attack you or either to be your weapon, you know. So people who have got personality, they're really unique. It is like if they learn how to wield it, it isn't like they're going to be afraid of everything or society. Of course, you are living the society, so you have to respect some rules, but you won't be afraid to think outside the box or do some strange things, because if you can't do that without being afraid, you're never going to really feel comfortable about yourself. It's not about others. So exercise. If you have a lot of physical hyperactivity, you can go to the gym a lot of times per week. You can go run and you can do a lot of stuff, because you just have to direct your focus and your hyperactivity to the right place. If you can do that, I am sure you're going to I am sure you're going to thank me someday, okay? But I don't know about you, maybe I am wrong and I'm just saying a lot of bullshit, but I feel like I am glad that I have got ADHD, because I learned how to yield it properly. So nowadays it works in my favor and I like it. It's my brain, it wouldn't change me, you know? So yeah. I'm trying to record a video about the eggs car, like the car which sells eggs is passing, so yeah, gotta wait. Oh, it doesn't stop the video if I